Hey, gang. Well, I'm going to try and tell you guys a little story right here about our TV. Now, some of you might out there be thinking, and saying, it's like, why don't you guys have a flat screen? Well, because one, they're too expensive, and secondly, we're pretty happy with the big bulky TV we have right here. But there's a funny story to that, and I want to tell you guys the story real fast. It's another story from Mulberry because and it involves the same two people that were involved that I told you guys about in my scrambled egg story. So, yeah, this one's about my friend Steve and his girlfriend at the time, Amber. Get a good look at our big, bulky TV. That's a heavy sucker, I'll tell you that much. So yeah, if you're wondering about Steve and Amber scrambled egg story, yeah, same two people. And this is what I'm going to call the TV story, which involves this right here. One day, it was a Saturday. Um, I slept out in their front room on on this couch right here, as you can see. And and so when Steve and Amber moved into this trailer in Mulberry, uh, their fighting got a lot worse. I mean, when we all stayed together in this apartment in Webb City, their fights were bad, but not really bad. But when they moved to Mulberry in that trailer, it got worse. In fact, one day I got woken up by Steve and Amber fighting, and it was always the same old fight over what they were always fighting about. You know, it was always over food, no extra money in the house, no cigarettes. Steve wanted to go see his youngest son. It was always all about that. And Amber always tried to get money from her grandmother, her mom, her dad, anybody, and it was usually a big fat fail. So, so I woke up. I heard them fighting. At first, I put my earphones in, turned on my MP3 player and tried to drown them out. I thought maybe within about 20, 30 minutes they'll be done. It'll be over with. Because usually some of their fights don't last that long, but because they'll fight for say 10, 15, 20 minutes and then that'll be it. This one went on for a long time. This went on for well at least over an hour, and so Reno had his bedroom at the far end of the trailer. He woke up, came into the front room, and I'm just laying there on the couch relaxing. And he asked me, I was like, how long have they been going at it for? And I said, probably about 30, 35 minutes now. And the yelling got louder and got a lot worse. So he and I decided we're going to go outside before it spills into the front room and it starts getting really, really bad. And so we go outside, and there's this big wooden fence that probably had to have been at least, oh, lordy, 30, 40, 50 feet away from the trailer. It kind of split between the trailer, the trailer in the yard, big yard though, big yard, and this place where people go to park their big rig trailers at, and people go to work there and everything like that. Our neighbors, though, they were drug heads. Sold it, used it, never bothered us, we never bothered them. In fact, a lot of times they told us, that they were so messed up in the head after doing all their stuff that they would hardly ever hear us. And there was always that big fear that they were going to hear us one of these days and call the cops. When we found out they were drug heads, they realized that they called the cops on us, they'd be getting into some serious trouble. So there you go. Uh, so Reno and I go outside. We go over by the fence, and we can hear him yelling and screaming still because those walls in that trailer were paper thin. So, so yeah. So we're by the fence and we're just talking, just normal, random, crazy stuff. Suddenly, we hear things getting broken. We hear things getting, almost. We hear stuff getting hit, things like that. We hear stomping, we hear a slam, and we hear something crash and all this other stuff. Finally, after about 20 more minutes of fighting and all this other crap, Steve and Amber come outside, and they seem to be calm, cool, and collected. And they try to act like nothing even happened, as if Reno and I were little kids, and they try to pretend like Mommy and Daddy weren't doing anything. That's how they always ended their fights. Well, they apologized for what happened, and they asked us why we were standing outside, and we told them, like, you two were fighting and arguing, and we decided to vamoose outside. So they apologized. So we asked them what happened. They told us about the stomping, said Steve was stomping, and we asked them about the thud and everything. They said, well, Steve pushed Amber a little too hard, and then Amber pushed him back, and all this against the wall and everything. And said, what about the crash? And it said, well, Steve kicked the TV. This TV you're seeing right here. And so what happened is that he kicked it. So does it still work? Well, I don't know. Oh boy. Not good. So we all went back inside, checked out the TV. TV still worked. And it still works. And the funny thing is, before Steve and Amber and Reno moved out of here, he said I could have this TV. And it still works. Kind of weird, huh? So, big bulky TV, still plays, still runs good. I'm not sure how much he paid for this sucker, but I'll tell you this much. My beautiful wife Sarah and I, we love this TV, and I don't know if a flat screen's ever going to come into our future anytime soon, but if it does, it'll probably be when it's a whole lot less. So there you guys go. There's the TV story. Another terrible tale from Mulberry or something like that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you like my videos, feel free to subscribe. So until next time, as always, stay strong and rock on.